Do you have any undisclosed rental income? What do you need to do about it? Hi, I'm Kimberly Shapcott, qualified chartered accountant, property investor and entrepreneur. Let's sit down and have a chat. Have you got undisclosed property income that you've been getting some rental income but you didn't realise that you were meant to be declaring it? And there may be no tax or there may be tax to pay, but you weren't sure what you were meant to do, and now you've just discovered you were meant to do something. The question is, what should you be doing? Well, HMRC set up a Let Property campaign, which was there to enable landlords who hadn't declared what they were meant to declare to put in a declaration of all the income that they've not declared to bring their tax affairs up to date. The benefit of doing it in this way is it gives you the best possible terms available. So this may be reductions in penalties, reductions in the impact, and how much you may have to pay HM Revenue and Customs. The general premise of our tax system is that anyone who does disclose what they're meant to be paying will have less penalties and less consequences compared to those that HMRC notify, write to, or find are doing things inappropriately, where the penalties are much more draconian and much harsher than those that are actively trying to do things in the right way. The Let Property campaign allows landlords who have not been doing things appropriately to put in a notification to notify HMRC that they're planning to disclose undisclosed income that they should have reported. By putting in a claim, a notification to the Let Property disclosure means then you have 90 days to work out and pay what you owe HM Revenue and Customs. The key people that the scheme is eligible for is those that have residential letting income. The one area it's definitely not eligible for is those with non-residential property income. So this is for anyone who may be an accidental landlord, or they've got a couple of properties that they thought, oh, it's okay, we don't need to do anything, there's no tax to pay, but you should have disclosed the fact that you have that rental income. The benefits of using this sort of campaign is that the penalties will be calculated based on the underpaid tax, and those penalties will be a lower percentage than they would be if you hadn't disclosed it through the Let Property campaign. It won't allow the reduction to be complete, but it will reduce it significantly. The key thing here is if you have left it a very long time, then the reduction will be slightly less than those who have not left it for as significant a time period. So the sooner you do this, the better, because again, the penalties are going to be that much lower. The scheme has two stages, the first one being the notification phase, and then the second phase, which is the disclosure phase. Let's have a quick look at the notification stage, and then we can jump onto the other one in a moment. The notify stage is relatively straightforward, as the key thing here is that you're notifying that you are going to be making a disclosure. You can do this yourself or your agent can help you, and they just need to fill in a specific form to put that in on your behalf. Once you've done the notify, HMRC will issue you a unique tax reference number for the disclosure purposes, which then you will use to submit when you put your disclosure in. Within the disclose phase of this process, you are now going to have to calculate the unpaid tax or underpaid tax that you should have already declared. One of the conditions of the disclosure is you declare any other undisclosed income as well. So this is bringing all of your tax affairs up to date, not just your let property. So if there's anything else you've been doing that you should have disclosed, you need to disclose everything to make sure that everything is completely up to date and you are happy that the tax office and you are square in essence. Now you've got 90 days to pull this disclosure together, so you need to do the calculations, you need to draft your letter to then send that submission in to HMRC. You also need to pay the tax that is due to be paid within that 90-day period as well. So there's quite a lot to do to get this sorted. So you do need to make sure you collate all those records as quickly as possible to get everything submitted on time. In your disclosure, you'll need to determine what tax years the tax was due and show that split to show which tax years what was due and what was underpaid. Therefore, if it was maybe 2-3 years ago that you started getting rental income and you've not declared, see which tax year it relates to, put down the different tax years and the income that was not declared, and then give a reason whether it was deliberate, careless, or in spite of reasonable care, so that enables them to assess what percentage the penalty will be applied for it. You may need to include information about previous years as well, so do check the specific guidance for the disclosure to see if there's any additional information that they may need. It may be they need the previous 3, 4, 5, 6 years worth of details. If you were registered for self-assessment and it's a careless mistake, it may be they just need the years that you have not disclosed because you've never registered for self-assessment, and that's the reason you're doing the disclosure. So do just check some of the finer details if you're doing it yourself, or work with the accountant that you're working with to make sure that you put the appropriate information into the disclosure so that you are trying to, again, comply with all the requirements and get your tax affairs in order. For those that have unfortunately missed something that they didn't realise they needed to do, this is a great campaign to just try and bring everything in order, and then you can start doing things appropriately on an annual basis on the normal tax return cycle. This hopefully gives you that jump start to just help get things in order, minimise any penalties that may be payable due to late disclosure, late payment of the taxes, and hopefully this just gets you on the right route to be doing things on a timely basis going forward. If you are unsure of what you need to do, then I would definitely suggest speaking to an advisor, an accountant, who will be able to take you through this process. There are many accountants out there who have been working through this, and obviously if you do want to speak to ourselves at Shapcott, please do get in touch with us. Hopefully today you've discovered all about the let property disclosure and what you need to do if you have undisclosed rental income. If you have any questions, then please do leave a comment. Please like the video and do subscribe to the channel. And let's make tax less taxing. Let's make tax less taxing.